It is a film about family and about learning that everybody is trying to love you as best as they can. But sometimes as kids, we misinterpret that love because it's not the same that we need. So it's very rare, I think, that you get to follow a character from childhood into adulthood all the way and see all the twists and turns, all the ways that there were misconnections or moments that were misunderstood. And that although that happened, when we get older, we have a way to connect again and atone what was lost. One of my favorite things that happened in our first communication was she said, I want you to tell the truth and I want you to tell your truth. This is my story, but I want you to make this your own, and I don't need you to turn me into a character, or emulate me, or do it the way that I would have done it. I just want you to tell the truth and whatever feels honest to you. So I'll tell you anything that you want. There are no questions that are too personal, but you can just take what you want from it and assemble it in the way that you want. So it started off our relationship in this really warm way that she was very trusting of the way that I was going to tell the story. Naomi Watts plays Rosemary, and she's just absolutely incredible. It's a really tough role to play that's very much on this line of like mother and sort of like unhinged at the same time, and I think she does it beautifully. Very hard not to laugh at certain moments because how deep she would get into this character and how far she's willing to go is just, she's magic on screen. Woody Harrelson plays Rex, and he's someone that has been a friend for many years of my life. We met, gosh, a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago now. It's so crazy. And so he and his family have always been a very important part of my life, the part of my family that I've made now that I've grown older. And so to be able to play opposite him was a really special experience to do, because we love each other so much, and so that brings a lot to the table that I think you can see on screen, that there's a lot of care there, and although it's tumultuous at times, there's still this like sense of love. Destin Daniel Cretton is like family to me. He's like my brother. So it was an absolute dream to work with him again. He's the person that I want to work with all the time. He's just the most compassionate, kind, understanding, sensitive person. And this is the second time I've played a character that required me to sort of lose myself in it, and even simple things like crying on camera, those are real vulnerable moments, and you have to fall into someone, and you have to trust that you have a team of people around you that are going to be respectful of that vulnerability and care for you on the other side of it, and that's exactly who he is. Sharon Seymour is our production designer, and she's an absolute genius, gem of a woman. She really took this book and made it alive. Every detail, in particular in the Hobart house, she took all of these things that are so visually impactful from the novel and was able to put them in this film so they become alive and you recognize them as the things that have been in your head for so long. Like the Rosemary would put these glass bottles in the window, or the way that the stairs sort of caved in. All of these small details, her paintings everywhere, Rosemary's paintings everywhere, that were just so perfect. And then you have the opposite side of it, which is the New York apartment, which is this like gorgeously designed but very stark setting that feels empty, you know. And so she created this beautiful dichotomy of the Walls family home, which, yes, it's chaos and it's messy, but there's love there, versus this New York apartment that has all of the things that are supposed to make you happy and somehow still feels devoid of anything that's meaningful. In the 80s side, I used actually a lot of Jeannette's real clothes in that. I got to wear her suits, which were really amazing. And the ones that I wear that aren't her suits, they became sort of infatuated with the idea of like white and crispness, because her clothes were so dirty growing up that perhaps she really loved having things that were clean and looked very clean. So they just really bring so much. I mean, clothes are such a huge part of my job because it's a tactile feeling. It's part of what makes you feel like you're sitting in that body. And they're such a great team in that way of helping bring that character to the surface. The Glass Castle are these plans that Rex has been working on her whole life, and it's this idea that once they strike it rich, once he makes a bunch of money, he's going to buy this beautiful house that's all made out of glass. And it's going to be eco-friendly and beautifully engineered. Although he has his flaws, he has an incredible mind for engineering. So he has these plans that he carries around with him for her whole childhood, and it's this Eden, it's this place that they're going to get to, this beautiful paradise that they're not in now. And although they're living in squalor, one day the Glass Castle will be there. And it takes time and